Hello besties, welcome back to my book channel. Today, as you would have seen in the title of this week's video, we are going to be spinning for my June TBR, and I feel that before we jump into the TBR, I need to address the elephant in the room, or should I say the dog in the room. This is unfortunately not my dog. I am dog sitting for one of my friends. Meet Lincoln. She is the cutest little King Charles Cavalier, and she follows me around everywhere. And so I was like, you know what? You're going to be a book girly for the day. So that's Lincoln. Who knows how long she'll stick around? Oh, hey. Oh, yeah, she likes the camera, apparently. Hi. I do wish that this was my dog. This stack is the remainder of my physical TBR, and so we're kind of getting to that point where the books that are left on my physical TBR, I'm not super in the mood for reading. Like, I've been putting these books off for a little while now, at least for the majority of them, and so I'm feeling like June is going to be a month where I just try to get through as much of these books as possible because I shouldn't be putting them off. Like, I bought them for a reason. And then as always, anything that you guys see in the TBR wheel that is not in this stack is either available from my library or I can download it from Kindle Unlimited. And then my final note before we actually spin for my June TBR is addressing my previous month's TBRs. Do you guys want the good news or the bad news? I'll give you the good news first. So I completed 100% of my April TBR, which is so incredible. I'm so happy about that. I read 6 out of 6 books. However, my May TBR was not quite as strong. At this point, when I am filming this video, I will have read 2 books on my May TBR, but I am filming this video early. I'm filming it halfway through the month, so there's a good chance that I knock off a couple more by the time that this video goes live. We will see. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my plan. And so now I think that is actually everything. So let's spin for my official June TBR. You guys should now be able to see my screen and all of the books that I am potentially going to be reading in the month of June, and I'm just going to spin for our first book. I feel like as I'm looking at the wheel, it feels a lot more hodgepodge than it normally does. I don't know why, probably just because the physical TBR is dwindling down. When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Guys, this is, wow, this always happens. This always happens. When in Rome is, I think, the only book that I put into the wheel from my May TBR that I just don't think that I am going to get to. And the wheel has a tendency to re-pick books that I don't get to in the last month. Like, it just mocks me. It knows that I haven't read this book yet. And so it's like, Olivia, you need to read this book. And I really want to. I did want to make sure that I put in a few fun and summery romances to read during June because that is maybe the best month of summer, at least in Texas. I do think it gets too hot in like July and August. So in terms of like reading fun summery romance books by the pool, June is maybe the best time to do that. So I'm excited about this. I think I'm not going to get too into it. I did talk about it in my last TBR video, but we are following Amelia Rose, who is a celebrity of some kind, and she needs to like take a break from being a celebrity, and she ends up in Rome, Kentucky, and like staying at this guy's house who is a chef. And that's honestly all that I know about it. And I think it sounds really cute and really fun. It's a 4-book series, and I would love to honestly get into another small town romance series. And so I'm really excited about this one. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not really sure what I'm in the mood for in this TBR wheel, if anything. Well, okay, I'll address that in a second. A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is perfect, actually. So what I was going to say is I recently finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I absolutely love that book so much. It just made me feel all of the feels. 5 stars, absolutely incredible. Ever since I finished that book, I just haven't quite felt like picking anything up. I'm like, nothing sounds exactly right because no book is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Like, I just absolutely loved it. And so when I was thinking about what books to put in the TBR wheel, I was like, okay, V.E. Schwab, let's put one of her books in there because she wrote Addie LaRue. And so I put in A Gathering of Shadows, which is book 2 in the Darker Shades of Magic series. I've been wanting to reread this book for quite a while now, and I was putting it in my TBR wheels like probably 4 to 6 months ago, and it got picked and I started my reread, and then I just didn't get around to finishing it. And so I would absolutely love to finish rereading A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is at this point my my favorite book in the series. I love it so much. Like if book 1 is a 5-star, book 2 is a 6-star read. Like I'm just obsessed with it, and I would love to reread it again years later. I've reread the first book in this series. I think I've read it 3 times now, but I haven't reread the second book at all. So I'm like, okay, this would be a perfect opportunity to reread A Gathering of Shadows because I know that I love it. It's by V.E. Schwab. It might kind of give me a similar like feel to Addie LaRue, even though it's a very different book and story. And I just think that might be what I need to kind of get me out of this rut that I'm in. In this series, we're following our main character, Kel, who is a very rare type of magician called an Antari, and he can essentially travel between worlds. And in this like fantasy series, there are 4 different worlds that basically have varying amounts of magic in them. Kel is one of the very few people that can move between these different magical worlds. And he, at the beginning of the book, gets caught smuggling things between Londons illegally. And it sort of gets him into a lot of trouble. And the whole series kind of just kicks off there. And they're so good. They're my literal all-time favorite fantasy books. I love them. So I'm not going to talk about this much more because you have all heard me talk about it so many times. Spinning for book 3 now, we have a romance and a fantasy. So maybe a fiction, maybe not. We'll see. Okay, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Book 3 is Ariadne, and I don't actually think I've talked about this book on my channel yet. One of my really good friends actually got me this book for my birthday. It was, at the time, a recent 5-star read for her. She was like, I read this. I absolutely loved it. I think you'll absolutely love it too. And I love all things Greek mythology, Greek retellings. I recently reread all of the Percy Jackson books. I'm watching the Percy Jackson show right now. I've read all of Madeline Miller's books. Like I really love all things Greek mythology, and she knows that about me. But I don't actually really know anything about Ariadne or like her story, her legend within Greek mythology. It says here, sister, lover, traitor, hero, Ariadne, princess of Crete, grows up listening to her nursemaid stories of gods and heroes. When Theseus, prince of Athens, arrives to vanquish the Minotaur, her brother, Ariadne sees in his green eyes not a threat but an escape. And so it sounds like Ariadne helps Theseus kill the beast. But I'm really excited about this book. This was one that wasn't really on my radar at all. I've seen other books by Jennifer Saint. Like I think maybe those ones are more popular, or hello? I think those books are more popular maybe than this one, or perhaps this is her newer release. I'm not really sure. No, this came out in 2021, so I don't know. Maybe this just hasn't been on my socials where I find my books, but I'm excited. If you guys have read this book, please let me know. I would love to get into this, honestly, immediately. It sounds lovely. I did want to just let you guys know that I am actually on the hunt for some cozy bookish pen pals this summer. If you guys don't know, I run a mail club for readers where I send cozy bookish paper goods to my subscribers every single month. It is so much fun, and one of my favorite things that I do that I think is really different from a lot of other mail clubs that I've seen is I actually take the time to write you guys back. I really strongly encourage you guys write a letter, respond back to the notes that I have sent out. And I literally sit myself down at my desk and write personal handwritten letters back to you guys. I do it for as many people as I possibly can. So we quite literally keep up a cozy bookish correspondence. It's my favorite thing ever. And so if you guys happen to be interested in receiving a letter from me, writing me back, getting letters, personal letters that are literally just handwritten for you from me, I'm going to link my mail club down below. There's lots of other fun things included in that besides just letters, like bookmarks and newspapers and fun stuff like that. So I will link that in the description box down below. It's literally my favorite thing that I do, and I just absolutely love all of the people that are in that mail club. And so yeah, I think that's it for me. Let's get back to spinning the TBR wheel. Okay, how are we already halfway done? This happens every single time, and I get really sad because I just absolutely love spinning the TBR wheel. It's literally my favorite thing to do. I make these videos every single month, and it is elite. It is top tier. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay, The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. This is a book that I had seen kind of all over the internet probably like 2 years ago. I know, maybe more actually. When did this one come out? 2023. So yeah, 2 to 3 years approximately. I still lived in LA when this won the Barnes & Noble Book of the Year, and I remember, you want to go go hang out with the books. And I remember that because I just remember the Barnes & Noble that I used to go to in LA had like giant posters of this book in the window being like, oh, this is our Barnes & Noble book of the year. And at that point, I wasn't reading like a ton of fiction. I feel like I've always enjoyed fiction, but it wasn't the kind of book that I would like go out and buy. But I found it at a thrift store for $3 and it was on sale for $1.50. And so I was like, we are definitely picking this book up. Don't really know anything about it. I do, unfortunately, we're at the point in my physical TBR where a lot of these books have been chosen in TBR wheels in the past, and these are like the 1 or 2 books that I didn't quite get to in those past TBRs. So some of you guys might be like, oh my God, Olivia, we heard you talk about this book 6 months ago. But here it says, in 1972, when workers in Pottstown, Pennsylvania were digging the foundations for a new house development, the last thing they expected to uncover was a human skeleton. And then at the bottom it says, as the novel unfolds, it becomes clear how much the people of Chicken Hill have to struggle to survive at the margins of white Christian America and how damaging bigotry, hypocrisy, and deceit can be to a community. So it sounds like maybe this event is like a snowball for us as the reader understanding all of these problematic things. And honestly, that just sounds really, really good to me. And this book did win a big award from Barnes & Noble, so I'm curious. I would love to know. Oh, Lincoln, are we leaving? Oh, Lincoln's out of here. So book 4 is The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. This is perfect. This is so fun. Okay, guys, I'm looking at the wheel and I'm not really sure what I want from here. I can tell you what should I tell you what I don't want? That feels risky. Rock, paper, scissors, the TBR wheel has picked 100 times. And because I don't really like mysteries or thrillers, I haven't read it. I choose to ignore the fact that the TBR wheel picks that every time. I do have 2 Sarah J. Maas books on here. I have The House of Sky and Breath, and then I also have A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, I am actually currently reading the first book in the Crescent City series. It's huge. So I'm hoping that I will have finished it by the time June comes around for me. I don't know yet. I'm hoping. So that's why I put the next book in the wheel. And same with A Court of Wings and Ruin. I finished the second book in that series recently, my reread, and I'm trying to read 1 SJM book a month leading up to the release of the new ACOTAR book. So it's all kind of fresh in my mind. So I'd like one of those books to get chosen. I don't really care which one. And then everything else is kind of fine. Again, I just don't feel like reading anything right now because Addie LaRue just completely rocked my world and nothing can top it. That's how it feels right now. Oh my God, stay. Oh, wow. That was really close to rock, paper, scissors, guys. Oh, and I realized I forgot to pull this off my bookshelf because it's a reread. 1 second. The 5th book for the June TBR is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book in the ACOTAR series, and I cannot stress this enough, you guys, absolutely loving my reread of the ACOTAR series to the point where I honestly think it's better the second time through. I feel like we say all the time, oh my God, what I would give to experience this series for the first time all over again. And while part of that is true, certain things are just resonating more deeply and hitting even harder upon a reread because you kind of know what to look for, you know what's coming, but I don't remember any of the details or any of the delivery of certain lines and certain parts. And so it just makes me so giddy and it makes me want to kick my feet. And the moment I finished A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book, I immediately wanted to pick this book up, but I'm trying to be careful because if I blow through the entire ACOTAR series now, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of reading them slowly until the new book comes out because I'm going to forget things. I just know that I am. So I'm trying to stretch it out and sort of alternate Crescent City and ACOTAR because if I do it that way, then I think I'm kind of well positioned in terms of remembering everything by the time that the new ACOTAR book comes out. And so that's, if you guys are like, Olivia, why are you balancing both? Why are you reading ACOTAR and Crescent City at the same time? It's because I don't want to forget all of ACOTAR, nor do I want to read all of Crescent City for the first time all at once. I've never read that series before. Kind of rambling and yapping, but I'm excited about this book. I honestly think this is a great book to get me out of the little funk that I'm in. I honestly think Crescent City could be doing that right now. I'm just not far enough in yet. I'm maybe 75 pages into that So I don't really know how I feel about it yet. If you guys are thinking about rereading ACOTAR before the new series or like the new book comes out, highly recommend. I didn't realize how many details I had forgotten, and I don't think it was a safe assumption to just think things will come back to me. Like, they definitely are not going to come back to me. And sadly, we are at the end of the TBR wheel. We only have one more book left to go. Very cool toned wheel right now. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to put Conversations with Friends. I totally forgot to put this book in the wheel. Oh well, that was my own fault. I don't feel like adding it now. I will say I did start Wildcard by Elsie Silver. That's kind of been my very low commitment before bed book that I've been reading lately, which is why I put it in the wheel. I do love reading like a easy, fun, fluffy romance book before I go to sleep. It kind of helps put me to bed, and so that's been my current before bed book, but I'm only reading like maybe 15 to 20 pages of it at a time. So it could be kind of nice if it got picked formally for a TBR wheel video. Oh, I don't know if that's going to happen. If it got picked formally for a TBR wheel video, then it would. Okay, Houses, Sky, and Breath. I honestly don't, I think I'm going to respin. I only want to read one SJM book a month. I don't know if I've ever respun in a TBR wheel video ever, but when I put those books in there, it was sort of an either or situation. Like, which one is it going to be? Not, I'm going to read both, because I'm incapable of reading that many pages in a month. Yeah, so I'm going to respin that and hide this choice, which I seriously almost never do, but I just know that like, I can't read both. But what I was saying about Wildcard is like, if it got picked, that'd be cool, because then I can focus on it more intentionally. Not looking like that's the case though. The Winners by Friedrich Bachmann. Guys, we have some chunky books that we're going to be reading in June. I don't really think of June as chunky book month, but you know, it's fine. The sixth and final book that the TBR wheel has chosen is The Winners by Friedrich Bachmann. I have been wanting to pick up this book for a while, and quite honestly, the reason that I haven't picked it up isn't because I'm not in the mood for it, isn't because I'm scared of it. I am a little bit, but that's not why I'm not picking it up. It's because, how hot is it outside right now? It is 84 degrees and projected to thunderstorm outside right now. Hot rain still confuses me as someone not from this part of the country, but nonetheless, it's just been so hot. It's like high 80s, low 90s, and I don't think of the Beartown series as summer poolside reading. That said, I do have a tendency to forget things the longer that I go, like the longer time in between books in a series that there is. I don't want to forget everything that happened in Us Against You, which is book 2 in this series. And so I'm kind of thinking I might just need to read this book in the summertime if I don't want to risk forgetting everything. Also, it is really hot. I'm going to take my sweater off. As this is book 3 in a series, I won't obviously get into what this book is supposed to be about, but I will say in book 1 of this series, we're following an ice hockey team that lives in the town of Beartown. And the ice hockey team is full of junior high and high school boys, and the town really loves and really celebrates the sport. And so throughout the whole novel, we're basically watching as all of this pressure from the community gets placed on these boys, and there's this tragic event that happens at the beginning of the book that really sets the tone for the whole rest of the story. And I just really loved these books. They've slowly increased in their rating. The first book was a 4.5 for me. The second book was a 5. And so I'm kind of hoping that this one just is a 5 as well. Some of my friends have said that the second book in the series is their favorite. I've seen some people where the third book in the series is their favorite. I don't really know where it's gonna land for me. It's also so thick. I'm like, Friedrich, what are we gonna do in a book that's over 650 pages long? Like, I'm scared. If he was able to do to me what he did, aka make me bawl and cry and sob in the first 2 books, which are like half this length, I don't even want to know what he's capable of doing to my heart and my soul in this book. And I will also say that I don't know how a series like this ends. It's very character driven. There's not a ton of plot, and so I just don't know how you conclude something like this, because I feel like I just know that their lives are just going to keep going and things are going to keep happening. And I don't know how to feel about that. And I'll also be sad when the series is over, but finishing a series is also maybe the best feeling in the world. Now let's do an official review of the June TBR. First up, we have When in Rome by Sarah Adams, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride, The Winner Sinners by Friedrich Bachmann. And not on my physical TBR, but free to download on Kindle Unlimited is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I honestly feel really happy with this TBR. We have such an incredible mix of genres. We have romance, a Greek retelling, fantasy, fiction, another fantasy. That feels really, really good to me, honestly. Those are my favorite genres, so can't complain. If you guys have read any of these books, or if you know what is on your June TBR, I would absolutely love to hear about it. And of course, don't forget to sign up for my mail club if you guys are interested in receiving a letter from me. It is so much fun. It's literally my favorite thing that I do, and I just love each and every one of you that is in the club. I hope you guys are having a great day and a great reading month, and I will see you Saturday for my next bookish upload. Bye!